Cara cepat dan mudah belajar bahasa Inggris, Modal Verbs. Hi everyone, it's me, Tasso. Welcome to my classroom. Today, we're going to have a new lesson, and this lesson is about modal verbs, and I'm going to give you the secret. 5 basic rules to avoid common mistakes in using English modal verbs. Do you know what modal verbs are? What do they do and why do you need them? Well, modal verbs are parts of a larger category called auxiliary verbs. And modal verbs are verbs that add meaning or information to another verb. Kind of confusing. Verbs. Just to remind you that in a sentence structure, a verb usually consists of 2 parts. Auxiliary verbs, main verb. Jadi, dalam struktur kalimat bahasa Inggris, kata kerja itu selalu terdiri dari 2 bagian. Itu auxiliary verb dan main verb. Auxiliary verb adalah kata kerja bantu, istilah lainnya helping verb. Lalu main verb adalah kata kerja utama, yaitu kata kerja yang memiliki makna utama di dalam kalimat itu. Ya, jadi auxiliary salah satu bentuknya adalah modal verb, ya, yang sekarang kita sedang pelajari. Very well. Here we have 2 examples. The first example, she can sing. Can is the auxiliary verb. Can is a modal and sing is the main verb. So there are 2 verbs here, can and sing. The modal verb can add more information to the main verb sing. Jadi, kata kerja bantu can memberikan informasi tambahan kepada sing, yaitu dia memiliki kemampuan dapat bernyanyi. Let's look at the second example. He would come. Would is auxiliary verb, while come is the main verb. So, would add more information or meaning that he, in the future, will come. Hope you can follow that example. The modal verbs are special because they follow a strict set of rules. Even though the name modal verbs doesn't seem familiar, when you see what they are, you'll realize that we use these modal verbs all the time. So, you'll need to know how to use them correctly, right? Let's begin. Here are the 9 modal verbs. Must, might, may, will, would, can, could, shall, should. There is a simple tip to easily remember the 9 modal verbs. That is by putting them in a group like below. 3M, 2W, 2C, 2S. 3M, 2W, 2C, 2S. So you group it into 3M, must, might, may, 2W, will, would, 2C, can, could, and 2S, shall, should. Now let's talk about the 5 basic rules in using the modal verb. Here are the 5 modal verbs rules. Number 1, modal verb is followed by base verb without to. Number 2, modal verb doesn't need ending s. Number 3, modal verbs do not change its form according to tenses. Number 4, to form negative sentence, subject plus modal verb plus not. So follow this structure. Number 5, to form interrogative sentence, the verbs, subject plus verb. So that is the 5 rules. Let's see how we can apply these 5 modal verbs rules. Take a good look at these sentences. There are 7 sentences here, and something is wrong with each sentence. Can you spot the mistake? Let's have a closer look at each sentence. Sentence number 1. You must finish your homework. Can you spot the mistake? Yes, you are correct. Must is followed by base verb without to. So here we have to exclude or delete the word to so that you will have your sentence correct. That is rule number 1. So the correct sentence is you must finish your homework. All right. Sentence number 2. I can drive. What about this one? To form a negative sentence, add not after the modal verb. In this case, the modal verb is can. So we should add not after the word can. And we don't need to use any negative word like don't or doesn't or anything else. That is rule number 4. The structure to form negative sentence is subject, modal verb plus not. So here is the correct sentence. I cannot drive. There is something to remember here. When you add not to the word can, yeah, not is become one word with the word can. This is a very special case because when you add not to will, for example, it will be written separately. But if you write it as addition to the word can, it will become one word. So I cannot drive. Sentence number 3. You should not smoke. What about this one? Can you spot any mistake? Similar mistake with number 1. Should not is followed by base verb without to. So we have to exclude or delete to. That is rule number 1. And here is the correct sentence. You should not smoke. Sentence number 4. We not could call you. What about number 4? What's wrong with it? Yes, again, it is the way of making or forming negative sentence. Not is add after the modal verb. In this case, after could. That is rule number 4. So this is the correct sentence. We could not call you. Sentence number 5. He might go to sleep. What's wrong with this one? Yes, ending s, yeah? That is wrong. A modal verb does not need any ending s. That is rule number 2. So, this is the correct sentence. He might go to sleep. Sentence number 6. They could stayed with us. What's wrong with this one? Ending ed, yeah? It is a kind of past tenses, yeah? which is wrong when you use modal because a modal verb does not affected by tenses. Rule number 3, no tenses. Yeah, so every word after modal verb should be base verb without to, without ed, without s. So here is the correct sentence. You could stay with us. Then sentence number 7. When she will return. What's wrong with this one? Yes. Yeah. Rule number 5. When you want to form a question sentence, modal verb plus subject plus verb. So you need to move will before she. Okay, to form the correct sentence. When will she return? So that is all, everyone. The 5 basic modal verbs rule to avoid common mistakes. Of course, there are still many other aspects and consideration to the use of modal verbs. These 5 rules is just the basic to build your strong foundation. Now it's time for you to apply the rules anytime you use the modal verb in your conversation. If you think this video is interesting, give it a like. If you want to see more videos, click subscribe. If you think your friend should see this video, share it. If you have any questions or idea, leave it on a comment. Excuse me? Could you click that subscribe button now? Thank you. I'll see you soon on my next videos. Have a great day. Bye now.